The night I saw that transfer confirmation, my entire marriage collapsed in one silent notification. My name is Natalie, and for 12 years I believed I had built a safe, predictable life with my husband, Mark. We lived in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio, the kind where porch lights flicker on at dusk and neighbors wave while walking their dogs. I ran a small but growing interior design business from home. Mark worked long hours in corporate finance, or at least, that's what he always told me. People saw us as solid, mature, balanced. A couple who made decisions together, built dreams together, and stood on shared ground. And for a long time I believed it too. But cracks don't appear suddenly, they whisper first. Mark's new late meetings. The faint perfume that didn't belong to me. The way he held his phone tighter than before. The short, controlled replies to my messages. The tension he tried to hide in his jaw. He still kissed my forehead every morning, but there was distance behind the habit, like his lips remembered something his heart didn't. At the same time, my business was taking off. New clients, bigger projects, and finally, real profit. When I celebrated a major contract, Mark insisted on helping with the books. He said it would make things easier for me, help us plan for the future. And because I loved him, I believed him. I gave him access to accounts, financial statements, and passwords. I didn't know it then, but I had just placed my entire life in the hands of the man who would quietly dismantle it. It was a Tuesday afternoon when everything snapped. Rain slammed against the windows as I reviewed supplier invoices. I remember the smell of coffee cooling beside me. And then, the notification. A large transfer had been processed through one of my business accounts. The recipient, a company I didn't recognize. The amount, 6 figures. The timestamp, during one of Mark's client dinners. My chest tightened. For a moment I thought it was fraud from outside. But when I opened the ledger, I found the entry, logged under a vague label, consulting fee, MK Advisory. My heart dropped. MK Mark Kingston. His initials. I started digging. Fast. More transfers. More consulting fees. Invoices altered by a digital signature identical to mine. Vendor contracts that were written in his wording style, not mine. I printed everything, hand trembling, breath shaking in my ribs. I checked emails. I found auto-forwarded chains sent to an address I didn't recognize. I checked bank logs. The login IP matched our home network. The room spun. This wasn't carelessness. This wasn't a mistake. This was theft, designed to look like business transactions. When Mark came home that night, I waited in the kitchen, holding the printed documents like a shield. "Can you explain this?" I asked. He barely glanced at the pages. "Nat, you're overreacting. It's temporary. A reallocation. Business strategy. Reallocation." He said it like he was moving furniture, not draining my accounts. When I didn't respond, he softened his tone, the same charming shift he used with clients. "It's for us," he said gently. "I'm helping grow your business. You need to trust me." The audacity stunned me. I saw the lie in his eyes, small, wincing, practiced. That night, I lay awake listening to the rain hit the windows while the man beside me slept like nothing had happened. Betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper embedded in a spreadsheet. 2 days later, I broke. I sat alone in my office, the same space where I dreamed up color palettes and room layouts, and cried until my vision blurred. Not soft crying. The kind that comes from under the ribs, where grief mutates into anger. I felt humiliation. Fear. Confusion. And underneath all of it, a cold, blooming clarity. Mark didn't make a mistake. He made a plan. And I needed one too. Mark acted like nothing was wrong. He whistled while making coffee. He scrolled on his phone. He wore that calm corporate composure that made me feel like I was the unstable one. But I knew better. I stopped trying to confront him emotionally and shifted into strategy. I froze business cards. Changed all passwords. Enabled two-factor authentication. Secured off-site backups of every file, invoice, and bank export. Then I took the most important step. I hired a lawyer, sharp, direct, unshaken by the evidence. She recommended a forensic accountant who quietly, methodically, tore through my financial records. Within a week, we had a pattern: multiple shell companies. False invoices. Funds routed through accounts connected to Mark's old alias. Bank activity timed exactly to his client dinners. Piece by piece, the truth formed. Mark was stealing from me, using my own trust as camouflage. And that realization didn't break me. It sharpened me. I didn't seek revenge through drama. I sought it through law. When the forensic reports were finalized, they were damning. Every transfer had a trail: IP logs, metadata, timestamps, digital fingerprints. My lawyer drafted a formal demand letter, giving Mark a chance to come clean before we filed a full lawsuit. As expected, he refused. His attorney tried to stall, insisting it was marital financial overlap. So we escalated. We filed for a temporary freeze on accounts connected to the fraudulent transfers. That freeze strangled his liquidity overnight. Suddenly the confident man who said trust me was scrambling. While he panicked, we prepared a complete evidence dossier for prosecutors, not to manipulate him, but to ensure the truth couldn't be buried. His professional circle caught wind. Clients backed away. A sponsor pulled out. Whispers about financial misconduct began circulating. And I stayed silent, composed, deliberate. No threats. No yelling. No rumor spreading. I let facts turn into pressure. It was psychological, legal, and elegant, everything he never expected from me. The day our civil suit went public, Mark attempted the performance of his life: tearful apologies, half-truths, interviews he wasn't invited to give. But charm can't fix a paper trail. We settled out of court, but on terms entirely dictated by my legal team. He acknowledged wrongdoing in writing. He agreed to full restitution under court-supervised repayment. He forfeited any interest or influence over my business. He accepted regular financial audits for 5 years. He had to notify his firm and clients about the settlement. His professional license was placed under review. His reputation cracked. His confidence evaporated. The man who once smirked at my suspicions now avoided eye contact in the settlement room. When the final papers were signed, Mark whispered, "Natalie, please. We can fix this." I stared at him with the calm he once mistook for weakness. "There's nothing left to fix," I said. He opened his mouth, searching for the version of me who believed him. She was gone. I walked out with my lawyer, sunlight hitting my face for the first time in months. Not joy, something steadier. Freedom. I rebuilt my business. Reclaimed my accounts. I recovered my peace. He betrayed me slowly. I dismantled him legally. And that was the last day he ever had power over me. If this story moved you, please like, share and subscribe to help Betrayal Nation reach 1,000 subscribers.